Well, I know that CHARAS squatted this building, I think in the 70s, and when I moved here in the 90s, it was a well-established community center where there was bike share, there was a recycle a bike, there was theater exercises, there was theater workshops, community meetings. You'd have a Reclaim the Streets meeting by the folks who were doing the Save Vieques group, you know, and we would get to know each other. And the community garden organizers would hang out with the global justice organizers and the neighborhood organizers and the squatters and the gardeners, and we would all share space together. And I think that's the best thing about a place like CHARAS, is the retail politics. We talked about this at Zakati, just that idea that the place where people get to run into each other, to talk, to build community, build civil society. That's ultimately what democracy is all about. Yeah. And ultimately, I think that's why Giuliani sold the building off to a developer at almost no cost, but it was still a stipulation for community use. But I know that the city, Giuliani rejected pleas from the city to actually get housing preservation development money. There was money lined up to refurbish this building, this space from HUD, and the city rejected that. So Giuliani really had it out for this building, and Bloomberg hasn't helped. So hopefully when you get a new administration, they'll have an interest in community uses again. We need that. We desperately need these places for community uses, not another dorm. It's not what we need here. It's been a tough day. After Church's Magical Garden, the developer moving in on the garden today, and now we're here at CHARAS celebrating hopefully that they'll open the space up. But it's been over a decade since it's been closed, and I remember getting the phone call when I was in the Bronx, hearing they were finally moving in and closing the space down for us. And it's like, I just wonder, why does the city go after our public commons, the places where people meet and get to know each other, where this community comes together? I mean, riding my bike around this neighborhood on the way to the action, you see Frank Morales on the block, you see Chino, you see the OWS gang, and this place brings people together. This is our civil society, this is our public commons, and even a boarded up version of it brings us together. The city desperately needs these places for people to build those sort of non-alienating social networks where people get to know each other, and hopefully, I wish they supported them. It's really sad that they don't. But what's great about this year is that people are building more gardens than they've ever built. We're going into vacant lots every day, every week, and opening up new spaces. So we lose something like CHARAS, Church's Magical, and you build other spaces. But hopefully we'll save Church's Magical. Hopefully we'll save CHARAS. Hopefully we'll tell the city they can still open this space up at any point. And they should open it up for community use. And that's what we need to have happen.
As people standing up for their community center. It's been abandoned for a long time. I work with Time's Up. It's a local environmental group in New York City, and we use this community center to help save the gardens, to end the critical mass, to organize non-polluting transportation. This community center was not only a community center for arts and culture, it was a lot of political stuff that was happening that kind of formed the neighborhood. So it's great that people are coming back to support the community center.
All these protesters out there that I'm concerned, it's too little, too late. And they've got to be honest about the situation and admit a group had this place for years. It was the largest pigeon coop in the neighborhood, with more pigeons dropping on cars and the streets. They pretended they were running a community center. There was nothing community about it. They were artists. There's nothing against artists. They all have their face. There were, besides artists, movie groups coming in to do movies. Nothing against that. But is any of that going to help this community? No. It went into the pockets of the people, whomever they may have been, running whatever it was. Almost a scam.